So the next question that we have is, we just looked at a whole bunch of famous examples of parallel structure, but how will this play out on the SAT? So what I have here is a good example of parallel structure, and then I have a bad example of parallel structure and a hypothetical scenario that might occur on the SAT. In this example here, this is a good example of parallel structure that you will most commonly see on the SAT and the ACT for that matter. Tolkien characterized a typical hobbit's day as waking in the morning, eating first breakfast, smoking a pipe afterward, and then looking forward to meal times and other events in the day. In this particular example, all of the verbs that are listed here, these gerunds, that's what they're called. This, even you treat them as a noun at this point. Waking, eating, smoking, and looking all match the same verb format. They are all gerunds at the same time. Now, looking at the bad example, it's the same content, but take a look at where things get a little weird. Tolkien characterized a typical hobbit's day as waking up in the morning, then they would eat first breakfast, smoking a pipe would come afterward, and then meal times and other events later in the day. What you notice is that this one is parallel because it followed a similar pattern for all of the verbs. Contrastingly, this one shifted from using the ing version of the verb, but this in particular, that's a gerund. This is a gerund later, but in the middle, would eat. And then the last part of the list, they didn't even put a verb in here. So this is an example of not parallel structure. This first one is good parallel structure. The second one is bad parallel structure. Now, what will this look like on an SAT? They will put a sentence that looks like this one. And in the actual writing itself, and they'll ask you, what is the best revision to this sentence that would make it match the other patterns, or it would just be a better sentence? And the correct answer will be the one that is the answer that they've done with the shortest. And notice this one's shorter based upon word count. But notice too, it follows the parallel structure pattern as established with words like waking, eating, smoking, and looking, as opposed to these would eat, but then waking and smoking, and then no verb at the end of the list. You should be able to detect parallel structure based upon either its punctuation or the fact if it's a list, everything in the list should kind of look the same. So that is how it would play out on the SAT. I have a couple of other examples, but I will pause recording here for that you guys to catch up.